The small man builds cages for everyone he knows, while the sage, who has to duck his head when the moon is low, keeps dropping keys all night long for the beautiful, rowdy prisoners. A mentor is a sage, dropping keys, keys that open the heart, open the mind, open the body. So we become more free, more authentic, more empowered and grounded as human beings. What maps can a mentor use in order to produce this process, in order to contribute to the expansion of the people that he's working with? One of the tools that we are working with is the nature-based map of the human psyche. This map has been developed by the depth psychologist and wilderness guide Bill Plotkin from the United States of America, with whom we have trained and we have followed the Wild Mind Training Program. Thus, we have learned to use the nature-based map of the human psyche. This tool is very well presented and explained in the Wild Mind book written by Bill Plotkin. But now we want to offer you a few insights into this instrument that can help you when working with young people, adults, and elders. So, nature-based map of the human psyche is based on the qualities of nature, based on the patterns we see in nature, and they have been mapped based on the 4 directions. So there's north, east, south, and west, and for each direction corresponds a season. For the north there is winter, for the east there's spring, south there's summer, and west there's autumn. There are also the 4 moments of the day: morning in the east, midday, the intensity of the sun in the south, dusk, sunset, evening, it's in the west, and the dark night, the middle of the night, it's in the north. So, looking at nature, we can see that there are specific qualities and energies that correspond to these 4 directions. So if these 4 directions, qualities are present in nature, and we humans are also part of the nature, Bill Plotkin offers the idea that we also contain and possess these qualities. And he gave them some names based on some universal archetypes and images, and we are going to present them to you in the following moments. So in the north, there is the nurturing, generative adult. It's the capacity that we all have to be nurturing, to be generative, to have care for other people, for other places, for nature. It's also the capacity that we use when we teach and mentor other people, when we are engaged in healing practices, when we are leading, when we are creating something from scratch. And all these qualities are described by the archetype, the nurturing generative adult, that it's a capacity that we have for ourselves, but also for other people. It's the capacity we have for being nurturing and caring and loving for ourselves, but also for other people and the world. So this is the resource, the facet of the north. If we move on the east, sunrise, spring is coming, and here is the place for the innocent, sage, sacred fool, and trickster. These are qualities and ways of being that are described by playfulness, presence, curiosity, detachment, lightness, being humorous, extroverted, going into the world as if everything is starting now. If we imagine the spring and the morning, there's a lot of east energy in these moments of the year or of the day. So as nature has these east qualities, we also have them in our psyche. The capacity to be innocent and wise as a sage, but also a bit trickstery and playful like a sacred fool. If we move in the south is the place of emotions and body, connection with nature, belonging, and it is described by the name the wild indigenous one. It is our part, our facet of being at home on the land, in the earth, of connecting deeply with nature, of being in the body, embracing emotions from grief to joy, sadness to happiness. Everything is welcomed by the wild indigenous one. It is our part of being sensual, erotic, sexual, everything that we are meant to be, authentic, free, and just like any creature of the earth. The wild indigenous one of the south. If we are moving towards the west, we find a place of darkness, transformation, mystery, imagination. And this is defined by the name of the dark muse beloved. The muse is that part of us that feels inspired to create, to write poetry, compose songs, to sing, to make land art. It's also the part of us that is attracted to mysteries, to darkness, to symbolism, to dreams and archetypes. The part of us that wants to wander in the dark, the part of us that wants to transform and to be in the realm of darkness, mystery, and soul. So we all have the capacity to be nurturing, generative, like in the north, innocent and wise, like in the east, indigenous, embodied, erotic, like in the south, and mysterious, creative, imaginative, like in the west. And we, in our work of mentoring with people, we carry this map as a tool that is helping us guide through the realm of the person that we are working with. The psyche of a person is very complex, and having a map to navigate through the terrain is very helpful. So often when we are working with people, we try to look and to see what of the four facets of wholeness are present in the stories of the person. What resources maybe need a bit more cultivation, or the person needs to get in touch with them. What facets are coming more easily, or what facets need a little bit of invocation from the person. So we found out that it's really helpful to use in the mentoring process the nature-based map of the human psyche. We strongly recommend you to explore this map, to look at the book Wild Mind, written by Bill Plotkin, engage with the model, with the practices that are described there, and take it with you when you work with young people. You will see that once you have mastered the practice of deep listening, the practice and capacity of asking the right questions, also the capacity to mirror and to reflect the story of the person. You'll find out that having the wild mind map, it is a useful tool to craft your questions, to craft your mirroring in resonance with this map.